Hi class. So today I'm going to show you how to hand draw a design in Illustrator. I showed you before a couple of geometric patterns and how to turn photographs and how to use clip art. So this one I'm going to work on this pagoda, but I'm going to draw it from scratch using some of the tools in Illustrator. So the first thing, of course, as usual, create a new document and make sure it's, if you pick letter, you'll get 8.5 by 11 and units are inches. I'm going to name it Pagoda. Once again, I'm just naming it so that I know what I'm looking for when I go to look for that document when I want to work on it in Photoshop. Say OK. Next step, I have to go back to my swatches tab, select, which I already did, my swatches, go back to my Pagoda tab and paste them in. I'm going to move them off to the side. Okay, so now I'm ready to draw. I have my color, well, not that far, so I want to be able to see all of them. I have my colors there, and I have a blank document. So now I had to figure out how I'm going to draw this. Like the wave pattern, it's not a repeat, it's just one artwork hanging down towards the bottom of the tie. The artwork fills maybe half the tie. So as usual, kind of visualize where your tie is going to be on this piece of paper or fabric, whatever you want to think of it as. And so maybe the pagoda is going to be down around here somewhere. So I'm going to draw this using some shapes and kind of modifying the shapes and also the pen tool. But I'm going to start by, I look at my pagoda and I see a kind of a sort of a trapezoidal shape, which I can start with a rectangle and make it into a trapezoid. I see these curving roof lines. I see a triangle at the top. So I'm going to use some of these shape drawing tools to get a head start on this. Okay, so I'm going to put black in my fill color before I start because I know when, oh, I didn't want to do that. I don't want to change my swatches. Put black in my fill color. So I'll be drawing with black. I'm going to use the rectangle tool. And I'm going to maybe put the pagoda, oops, rectangle tool. Put the pagoda down about here somewhere. So I'll start with a rectangle, something like that. Now I notice that the sides will come straight up where these archways are, and then they kind of curve in. So in order to keep them straight and then have them curve there, I need a point, an anchor point here. To get it the same place on both sides, I want guidelines. In order to get guidelines, then what I'm going to have to do is get my rulers up, which are hiding here under View, Rulers, Show, or you can see the little to the right here, it's Command R or Control R if you're on a Windows-based machine. So I'll go into the ruler. As I drag, my guidelines will come down. I think about there maybe is where I want it to be. So now I need to add that point on the sides, an anchor point, so that I can keep the sides straight and bend the top. So first I'm going to select my box to make sure that I'm going to put the point on there. Then I'll do the plus point. If I just drew a point, it would be a floating loose point. Plus anchor point will add it onto a path. So when I get to the place where the guideline intersects the path, it'll say intersect. So there, I added a point there. I'm going to add one right in here. So now I have 2 points there. Now I'm going to use my white arrow or the direct selection tool because I want to select just a point, not the whole piece. So let me select that point. I'm going to slide it over. I want to slide these top and bottom, both top points over the same amount. So I'll use the arrow keys and I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that looks okay. Likewise, I'll slide this over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looking at my drawing, maybe a little more. 2 more. And I'll go here. 2 more. Maybe 2 more. Go here. 2 more. So you have to kind of just sort of judge what you want. So there, now I have the general shape. I want to put a triangle on the top. I could, draw it by hand. I could, grab a guideline and bring it here. So I have the center point and then, draw that triangle. Or I could also use in my shape drawing tool, I'll come over here to the tear off tab so the whole menu's up. There is a polygon, which if I double click it, whoops. All right, that doesn't work. If I click on here, okay, you're in the polygon. It asks you how many sides and what the radius should be. So for sides, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, And for the radius, I'm not sure, so I'll just say okay because I can reduce it or enlarge it. So there, I got myself a triangle. I'll bring it down here with the guideline. I can line it up exactly. I think I want it slightly smaller. I'll hold the shift key to make it proportional, but I'm also going to hold the option key, so then it'll, rather than push it to the left with this corner, it's going to keep it centered as it reduces. I think something like that is good. So let me slide it back down on top of the pagoda. Now I think it's the point isn't that high, so I'm going to, without holding the shift key, just bring it down, something like that. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to create these little roof lines. And I'm thinking that they are almost like an oval, but part of it taken out. So I'm wondering if I can manipulate an oval. So I'm going to grab myself the ellipse drawing tool, ellipse, oval, whatever. Create this ellipse like this. Now what if, let me get bigger so I can see what I'm doing. What if I would take, what if I would just take this and bring it straight down like this? Maybe bring this over like this. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe I can bring this point in here a little bit. Yeah, I think that works. That works. Okay, so now I have one shape. Of course, they're pretty similar. So I'm going to, I need two more. Control C. Whoops, I'm sorry. I did Control V. Control C, Control V. Control C, Control V. Actually, I'm going to do 4 to fill this shape. Another Control V. Because I want my bottom line here. Now I want these to be not lined up this way because I want them, you know, going with the curve there. But I would like to line them up. Let me use the black arrow so I get the whole thing, not just that one point. I would like to make them equally spaced. So remember the these tools, which I can go up here to Window and get my Pathfinder, and Align and Transformer all in here. I want Align. I want to align them equally, distribute them equally. This one, I believe, there we go. So that gives me my roof lines. So now what do I want to do? I want to flip these for the other side. So I select them all. I can hold the shift and add to my selection because I missed the top one. So now I'm going to go to the rotate tool, double click it. No, not rotate, I'm sorry. Reflect. Double click it. And if I put on preview, is that what I want? I think so. So I will say copy so that I get a new one. Using my arrows, I will just slide them over. And let's see. I'm going to get out of my reflect tool before I get in trouble. I think that's over too far. That looks about right. Whoops, maybe a little more than that. Shift, click, 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 holding the shift. I like that. Okay, so there's my pagoda. Now, what it is though is a group of different shapes, which is okay. I could select them all and I could do File, Group. Or what I like to do to kind of clean up my artwork is I like to select them all. So let's see. Get this. Oops, I'm not holding the shift key. Shift, shift. Okay, so now everything's selected. What I like to do is make this into just one shape so that it's no longer a series of shapes because it just sort of cleans the artwork up and makes it better. So that what I need for this is the Pathfinder tool. And you see it tells you the modes of the shape, what you can do. This will unite it to create a compound shape. it adds all the shapes together into one shape. So you see now it says that I drew it by just going around the outline like that. Not necessary, but in some cases when you're drawing it is necessary to do that. So I've just gotten myself in the habit of doing it to clean up my files and make them look good. All right, so now what I have is these little archways underneath, which I want to cut out of here. I'm going to also use the Pathfinder tool, but first I need to draw the archway. I think for this what I want to use is the rounded rectangle tool, because if I do this, look, that gives me a nice little archway. Now, I could, the corners are, the curve of the corners are large enough that it worked perfectly. You might go to draw this and the curve of the corners are too small, it's not going to work. You can manipulate that by double clicking, well, no, I guess by clicking on your, seeing you have the width, the height, but also the corner radius. That corner radius worked fine for me, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to cancel this. All right, so this I think makes a nice little archway. I'm going to put it like that. I need 3 more of them, so copy, paste, paste, paste. One there, one there, one there. Now I want them equally distributed and aligned. So holding the shift, I'm going to select them all. And I'm going to first go to align. I'm going to distribute them equally this way. Oh, they were pretty good already. I'm going to align them. Oh, that was lining them across the top. Now I'm going to equally distribute them. Yep, there we go. Now what I want to do is I want to take these shapes and subtract it from that shape to get those, because I didn't want the archways just to be white on top, because I want the sky to show through. So using the Pathfinder tool, I select my shapes there, select this shape, so everything's selected, and now I want the opposite of that. I want this shape to minus out of that shape, which is this one. There we go. It's just as though I drew it that way. So there's a lot of little tricks you can do with Illustrator to make your drawing faster and easier. So there's my pagoda. I like that. Now I want to put these stripes in here. Let me get a little smaller again. All right, so the stripes, I'm going to go wider than I need to make sure I have enough for my tie. So I'm going to use just the regular pen tool. I'll start all the way over here. See how that green line shows me I'm in the right spot, that it's lined up with the bottom of that? So I'll do a click. When I come over here, if I hold down the shift key, no matter where I go up here, it's still going to make a level line. So now that's black fill and no stroke. I need to reverse that. This little swap fill and stroke arrow. Now it's a black stroke. So now I'm going to repeat this, get a bunch of stripes coming down there. So it's select, whoops. Always remember to change to the right tool. So it's selected. I'm going to do a copy and a paste. There it is. Now just like when I did the stripe pattern of the tie, I'm going to copy paste 2 of them. I'm not going to worry about getting them lined up equally spaced because I can do that with my align and distribute tools. Copy paste. And one more time. I'll just paste another set just to make sure I have enough. All right, so now I'm going to select all of them, come over to align, distribute equally this way, right? There we go. Now you notice how in my artwork, it's sort of fatter lines up here, like there might be a shadow. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain that. So this is 1 point. Maybe this next one, I'm going to come to my stroke menu. Maybe I'll make it 1 1/2, 0.5. And then this next one, maybe I'll make it 2 point. This next one, I will make it 2 1/2, 2.5. This next one, I'll make 3. So you see, I'm kind of getting the illusion of it getting darker as it goes up. I like that. This next one, I will make 3 1/2. one I will make 4. You know, if I can just find the number on the menu there when it's a whole number but it doesn't have the fractions, those I have to type in. 4.5, 4.5, make it 5 point, make this 5.5, and the last one will make 6 point. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now we need that red sun there. So for that, I'm going to make it a little smaller again so I can see everything. So I want to get red in the foreground, so I click on my red swatch and I get red fill and no stroke, which is exactly what I want. I will use my ellipse tool. I want a perfect circle, so I'm going, and I want to actually have it be, see how it's centered exactly over the point of the triangle. So in this case, what I'm going to do is, besides holding the shift key to keep a perfect circle, if I hold the option key, it'll draw it out from the center there. So see, there's lots of little tricks I can do. All right, so I think that's pretty good. Now it's in front of my pagoda. I need it to be behind my pagoda, so I'm coming into my layers menu. Click down to find my sublayers. There it is. I want to bring it all the way to the back. So sometimes it helps to open this menu up. I'm going to bring it down behind that pagoda. There. All right, so the only thing left is to do the background. Oh, I have a color behind the stripes. So in this case, that color is the gold. So I will, and because it runs off the edge of the tie, I don't have to draw the shape. I'll just make it be a rectangle, making sure it goes behind that. And once again, I've got to send it backwards. Now, besides bringing it in this menu, if you know you want it at the very back, you can go up to Object, and under Arrange, Send Backward, which sends it back 1 step, or Send to Back, which sends it all the way to the back, which might be a little faster than coming over here and dragging. There's always more than one way to do anything you want to do on the computer. So if you learn different ways, you'll learn what's easier in what circumstance. And now I need the blue background. So now, with nothing selected, so I don't change anything that I don't want to change, let me get Command 0, brings the whole thing on the screen. There's my blue, went into my fill. Take the box drawing tool and I will draw a box over the entire thing. And once again, I need to send it to the back. So Object, Arrange, Send to Back. There's my finished pattern. So I'll save it, and I already named it Pagoda, so I don't have to call it that. I'll save it in the same folder, Working Files, which is in my tie project folder. I'll click Save, and that's it. One more pattern done. So I'm ready to start in Photoshop, working and changing my colorways. That's the next video that I'll do for you.